am Dr. Cinema, analyze, diagnose movies, and explain them to you. Now, before we get into what I want to talk about, I want to briefly go over the new 2017 movie It by Stephen King. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Probably not as good as a lot of the critics are saying it is, but I think it's pretty good. Definitely better than the miniseries, and definitely worth checking out. I'll probably make a play-by-play review in the next month or so about more specific details about the movie, but that's not what I really want to talk about in this video. I want to talk about one specific aspect of it. It itself, Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Now, despite the fact that the miniseries is pretty awful, the best part by far was Tim Curry as the Pennywise It creature. I mean, he just leaves such an impact with any role he does. It's pretty hard not to be impressed by what he does. But Bill Skarsgard of this 2017 adaptation does bring a lot to the table as well, seeing as how he's probably played similar roles from Hemlock Grove, even though I've never actually seen it, but I know what generally happens on that show. But this is sort of going to be like a face-off, but instead of 5 rounds, it's going to be 3, and instead of movies, it's 2 different portrayals of the same character. So, it's the Tim Curry Pennywise from 1990 against the Bill Skarsgard Pennywise of 2017. 3 rounds. Let's get right down to it. First round is actor portrayal. Now, Tim Curry. How do you describe Tim Curry as an actor? Well, let me put it like this. Let's say you have the option of watching a classic Universal monster movie like The Frankenstein or Dracula of 1931, or you have the option of watching a more modern day movie where Tim Curry plays an antagonist in it. You know that the people who played Dracula and Frankenstein from 1931 are technically the better actors and bring much more like traditional role performance to the character, which is a lot more intriguing. But Tim Curry he's a lot more entertaining, stands out in your mind a lot more. And that's what he did with Pennywise. I mean, he's just so memorable and pretty quotable. Kiss me, fat boy. You float too. Oh, yes. They float. Yeah, he did that kind of like he was turned on. But anyway, it just stands out in your mind, and it's just so entertaining. Now, Bill Skarsgard, he doesn't really underplay the clown at all, but he does kind of get overshadowed a little bit. I mean, the best part of the 2017 remake is the kids and what they're going through, and not so much Pennywise itself, which is still a good portrayal, but it's just not really like the best part of it, and that's really saying more on like how the rest of the thing was adapted and how much work is put into the other stuff, unlike in the miniseries. So as far as actor portrayal goes, I'm giving this round to Tim Curry. So, 1 down. Next round, faithfulness to the book. Now, one of the biggest differences between the miniseries and the book is how they use Pennywise. In the miniseries, it's always been Tim Curry as the clown, maybe doing a couple of weird stuff like had bandages wrapped around his head like a mummy, or sort of be like a werewolf kind of thing. But it's always focused on Pennywise just being a clown trying to scare people out. With the 2017 film, yes, there's the clown, but he does a lot more than that. He also takes on various other forms, does other tricks to try to scare people, to like defeat them, and that's more in lines of what the book did. Like, yeah, there's the clown, but also takes on the forms of many other stuff, does a lot of other things to try to scare you and to kill you. So in that sense, he's a lot more faithful to how the book used Pennywise than the miniseries. So, On that note, I'm going to give this one to Bill Skarsgard. 1-to-1 tie. Final round is the fear factor. Now, like I said before, with Tim Curry performances in general, he's not really so much scary as he is entertaining and just stands out in your mind. There may have been like a couple scenes where he's definitely was creepy or maybe a little scary, but like a tiny bit amount and for very briefly. Because a lot of the stuff you remember from the miniseries is just Tim Curry just being hilarious, either intentionally or unintentionally. Now, Bill Skarsgard, fear factor wise, it's a little bit. It's sort of like a similar thing where there have been times where the Bill Skarsgård Pennywise comes off as a little like comedic, either intentional or unintentional, and probably not as comedically entertaining as Tim Curry's. But that's not really the point of this round. It's the fear factor. And while Bill Skarsgård does do a lot of jump scares, and he just does a lot of weird stuff like with like body movement and such, where kind of really takes the fear out, but he's a lot more creepier and a little more disturbing than Tim Curry's ever was with just some of the things he does. And being creepy and disturbing was something that Tim Curry, even though he's trying to go for that, didn't really like pull off all that well. And something that Bill's version really did. Like there are several moments where, yeah, this is actually kind of creepy and like, okay, calm down. So, going to have to give this one to Bill Skarsgård. So, in this character face-off of Pennywise versus Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård wins. Now, I love Tim Curry's performance as Pennywise, don't get me wrong, but we're basing this off of how scary it is and like what it's actually supposed to like be and what it's actually supposed to do. Bill Skarsgård sort of does actually one up Tim Curry's, but they're both great portrayals of Pennywise, and they'll both be very much well liked by a lot of people. So personally, even though I think Bill Skarsgård's a little bit better, I'll always love Tim Curry's version. So, like I said, maybe in a month or so I'll do a play-by-play movie review of it to get into more specifics of the movie. But like I said, I think it's good enough, pretty good, worth checking out if you're a Stephen King fan and you just want to check it out. So, like, comment, subscribe, share, and Dr. Cinema. See you next time.